But as you're all still, people still coming in, signing on, I want to wish you a good morning and a very warm welcome to this session on content creation, all the apps, all the hacks. My name is Lisa Carlson. I'm the Chief Executive of the Canterbury Business Improvement District, and I will be hosting this session today with my colleague Rachel Pillard, who's our Marketing and Communications Manager, and we're going to give you just a few updates, very brief updates at the beginning, and then I will introduce Katy and hand over to her for the rest of this session. This is also being recorded, so if you have interruptions or multitasking, like we all probably are, you can refer back to the recording and the slides. But of course, we will be Katy will be taking questions. So if you, as you have thoughts and questions, would like to put those into the comments, please do. This is our first training session of the year. We are running a series of training sessions and sector group meetings. We had our first accommodation sector group meeting last week. It's already been a long year, hasn't it? We have a series of training sessions coming up. We also ran a series of training sessions last year, and I wanted just to touch on two of those as you are in a kind of content marketing meeting. These might be of interest to you. One was video content for social media, and that was run by Chris Duncan from Spark Production. Another was making the most of digital marketing, and that was by Pip and Ben from Digital Beans. So all of the sessions that we run are recorded, and the slides are on our training page on the website, and I'll put a link to that in the chat so you can refer back to it. And we have a number of sessions coming up, and as I scroll over to those on my screen, I also just wanted to mention one other thing briefly, which is we know this isn't the start of the year that any of us wanted, and in particular for those of you in the Canterbury district, and I think that's everyone in this session, we know that many of you are still waiting for grants and information. I have a number of updates from Canterbury City Council trying to get the grants out as quickly as possible. I don't want to dwell on this too much now because I don't want to take away from our time with Katy. But if you have any concerns, I'm going to put my email in the chat as well. Please get in touch directly, and we would be very happy to help facilitate anything we can for you and to help get you the information you need so that you can get your grants in as quickly as possible. So just briefly, as I said, I'll put the link to our training sessions to our website training sessions in the chat. We do have our sector group meeting. So anyone in retail or food and beverage who's interested in online sales and local delivery, we've got a session this week on the 21st, Thursday. So please do have a look at that and sign on. On next week on the 27th, we've got Google Garage, get your business visible on Google, and a number of other sessions coming up. Again, I'll put that in the chat. And before I introduce Katy, Rachel has a few brief updates for us as well.
Thanks, Lisa. The first thing to say is that there's actually one other opportunity regarding digital marketing. We're working with Canterbury City Council as part of the reopening of the High Street Safely partnership. And we have an amazing consultant called Jo Wynn Carter, who is offering one-to-one sessions with businesses to review all of your social media activities and to see how best to push forward. It's a great opportunity to have that one-to-one session. And if you are interested in booking in with Jo, just email Emily. You'll have her email address from booking onto this session, and she can set that up for you. But Jo is happy to have one-to-one sessions with various businesses across the district. The other thing I just wanted to highlight to you is that we've started a new campaign as part of the RHSS project. And through My Canterbury, which is the BIDS B2C comms, also Buy on the Bay and Shop by the Sea for Whitstable and Herne Bay, we have launched I Pledge. Now, this is an opportunity just to keep people thinking about the future. It's our way of signposting some positivity as we move closer to being able to visit high streets again. And what we wanted to do was to get people to start thinking about what they're going to do when we can reopen. It's a Facebook campaign and Instagram, and we're asking people to pledge to where they will go first when they come out of lockdown. So this week we launched, and the focus was on pubs. And we will be every week changing the theme. Next week's coffee, but we will also be covering cake, haircuts, beauty, accommodation providers, you name it, we'll cover it. And each week we want the local community to pledge to which business they'll visit first. So the idea is that they tag in the business that they're going to visit and tag in a friend as well. And so the campaign's going across all three districts, all three areas of the district, using the hashtag #IPledge, and we hope it'll just give everyone a little bit of positivity as we move forward. We have that was obviously the first image, and we're sending out newsletters once a week through My Canterbury with an interview from a local business. We're doing a blog post, putting it on the website as well, so there's a little bit of a highlight about the people behind the business, what they're doing at the moment, what they're planning for, how they're going to keep all their customers safe when they return. So it's just a nice way of getting everyone together. And what I would ask is that if everyone can get involved and post about the place they will visit when we reopen, it will have a much bigger impact. So the more sharing and the more commenting we get, the better. So that's just a little bit of a highlight there. The other thing to say is that we have a video that we took of Canterbury. I'm not going to show it now because I don't want to bite into Katy's time, and she's got a lot to get through and lots of things that I'm going to be making notes on. But we are going to be splitting a video that we've taken of Canterbury from last summer over 12 short films that we're going to be able to adapt to the various messaging as lockdown starts to ease, and as we start looking towards a summer of staycations. We're working closely with Visit Canterbury, who's also launched a campaign called #OurCanterburyTales, and that's going to be running throughout the year. So what we're going to do is try and interweave all of our messaging together, things about being safe, things about looking forward to coming back out again, and then all the activities that happen after that, so people can share their own Canterbury tales. I think that's probably it for now. Lisa, back to you.
Rachel, thank you so much. So again, all the links in the chat, please get in touch if you need anything and any support from us. But I'd now like to introduce Katy Towse, who is, we're so pleased you're with us, Katy. You're now a director of Mint Rainbow Consulting, but of course we know you from the Curzon. We know you having worked with you on national marketing campaigns for Canterbury when you were with Visit Kent. You have a long history in PR and marketing, and I feel like we're so lucky that we still have you working in Kent. You now also run a successful parenting blog, and you're probably going to run through all of that. I've got your website to put in the chat as well, but going to hand over to you now, and thank you so much for your time and for joining us today.
Thank you, Lisa. Right, I'm just going to share my screen. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. So I'm just going to do a bit of a whistle-stop presentation this morning called All the Apps and All the Hacks, which, as it sounds, is going to help you kind of hack your marketing process to save you some time and streamline your content and ultimately improve and drive your sales. So essentially, I'm just going to start with a little bit of chat about my background, basically what Lisa just covered there. So I am a marketing and PR consultant by career. I've always done this, but across a number of different industries. I started out in the film industry where I worked for Pathé Films and Paramount Pictures. And then I moved into tourism and I worked for the V&A, Curzon and Visit Kent. And now I work with lots of different small businesses, including my own, across Kent, helping them with marketing support, helping them with their social media, with their branding, and just providing a bit of a one-stop marketing shop, really. And then Next to that, I also do run a parenting blog, have 3 small children, so I get the juggle and I completely understand where everyone's coming from, particularly at the moment in terms of juggling their time, juggling their skill set. So hopefully this is going to really help with all of that. So we're just going to talk through a few things that are hopefully going to ultimately make your life a little bit easier. So we're going to talk through a range of apps and then a few little hacks that will help to simplify your process. Then we're going to talk through how to kind of improve that content and ultimately drive your business sales. I've started off with this quote because I just feel like it's really, really important for us to just take a moment to think about what this means. So content marketing is a commitment and not a campaign. And I think it's really, really important for us to kind of look at marketing now from this perspective. It's not a phase, it's not a fad. This is how we now market. People don't expect a hard sell. They don't want posts and information and hard sell marketing where they're just presented with products and prices. They expect added value, they expect additional content, they expect engagement and community and to know kind of the face behind the brand. And they just want a little bit more in terms of what they can get as a consumer, as a customer. So it's really, really important to get a headset around that this isn't something that is going to go away. This is a process about how to kind of change the way that we market to our customers. So hopefully I'm going to give you some tools that you need to create, some tools that are going to help you post more efficiently, track your content more efficiently and analyze it and essentially reach your audience with your impactful and effective messaging. I just thought that was important to start with. So apps that you guys need in your life. So we're going to go through a little bit about storage, design, photography, video editing, e-marketing and social. I promise it's not going to be long-winded. There are a few videos. The first one is the longest and then the rest of them are pretty snappy after that. So I'm going to talk you through them. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is Canva. Now this, like I said, this is going to be the longest video because this is something that I use day in, day out, and I feel like has made the biggest difference to my content output, to my customer, to lead generation, to everything. It's how my content looks. So I'm going to give this the most amount of time. I'm going to play the video in a sec, which is going to talk you through the app. But essentially, it's a design app. So it will give you the opportunity to access millions of adaptable content templates, to design from scratch, to share files with your team, to create a branded toolkit. And by toolkit, we mean logos, color palettes, templates, fonts, that kind of thing, everything at your fingertips. So when you're designing, all of those things, they're there in one place and they really speed up that process. And it's also a bit of file storage and you can share within teams. Just one more thing to say about Canva before I talk you through the app is that there is a free plan. So you can absolutely use Canva for free. And it's really, really extensive free plan. I do actually pay for the professional plan, which gives you another level. And it's around £8-9 a month. So if you feel like you're really getting into Canva and you're finding it really, really useful, you can pay that monthly fee. And that will give you a slightly upgraded plan in terms of more access to brand toolkits and more templates and more kind of flexibility within your designs. So here we go. I'll just play a little bit here and then we'll go from there.
Katie, is there meant to be sound?
Hi, was there a problem?
Is there meant to be sound?
Yes, there definitely is.
Ah, there's no sound.
Second.
You might need to reshare. There's a box in Zoom where you can tick for sound.
And then if you continue to scroll down, you'll start to see some of the.
I'm so sorry about that.
There we go. So we just open the icon and it will take us through to a home screen. And here you'll have a few quick access points. So you can go straight into creating a design along the top here. And as you can see, if I scroll along, you'll have all the different format dimensions and they are preset to the correct size for that particular platform. And then if you continue to scroll down, you'll start to see some of the categories where there are pre-designed templates for you to choose from. So just a few examples: posters, Facebook posts, animated social media, stories, covers, that kind of thing. And then if I go back up to the top, you've got a search bar along the top, so you could literally search for anything, whether it's a business, for example. If I put in yoga, and then it will give you some pre-designed templates for yoga, or you could put in Instagram, and then it will give you all of your Instagram related posts. So you can literally hit anything into that search bar. And then just very quickly, I'll just show you the next tab along, which is designs. And in here, you'll see all of your own made designs and you can access them and make copies, make changes, download, upload, that kind of thing. And then on the menu here, you'll be able to see anything you've done recently, anything that's been shared with you, because you're able to share things with other users. And then I just wanted to quickly show you this brand kit. So in here, you can pre-upload all of your brand logos, backdrops, icons, that kind of thing. I've got a few in here because I obviously work with different clients. And then you can also preset brand colors. So these are mine here. And then if I keep scrolling, you can see some of my clients' color palettes as well. You can also upload fonts or preset fonts from Canva, or upload your own. And that just makes work so much quicker because you've got a brand kit at your fingertips. And then also here you do have a content planner, and you can access all of your folders. So you can categorize all of your designs into folders, just like any filing system. So if I go back to home, if I were to hit this plus button here, and then I can just very quickly show you how to create a graphic. So you can either do something that's a custom size, or you can hit one of the template sizes. So Instagram post, for example, if I click on that, I just wanted to show you how easy it would be. So straight away, you'll be given the option to choose a template. So for example, let's click on this one. So here we've got a template, pre-designed template. And if you click on any of the elements, you can change them around. So if I want to change these to my brand colors, I can just at the click. And then if I want to exchange the photo and replace it for, say, something that I've been working on recently, and replace the second photo. There we go. And then our brand vibe and palette. So I could change the text to anything I like and change this backdrop color to this. And there we go. It's as simple as that. And you can use this arrow here to download it directly to your device, whatever you're working on. And then you can also upload, share it directly to any of your apps. So if I go back to the home page, and I will just quickly show you one more thing. So that was me adapting a template. So if I want to create something from scratch, let's go with a Instagram story this time. Here we go. So immediately I've got a blank canvas in the correct dimensions for an Instagram story. So I can click on it and change the colour of the background. So let's choose green. And then if I hit add, you go through all the different types of things that you can add to your design. So templates, uploads, photos, elements. If I click on elements just to show you, this is where you'll get everything that you would need, from stickers, grid lines, images, animations, gradients, anything you like. And again, so if I pop something into the search bar, I'm going to put rainbow in, you're going to get all of these different types. You can choose anything you like, and most of them are adaptable as well. So let's choose one. There we go. Sorry, that's just loading there. And then if I hit this, and then here I can change all the colours again. So if I want to change them to my brand colours, as I was saying before, I can change everything within that image. There. And if I think, actually, I want to upload some text as well, so I can add a heading, a subheading, or a piece of body text. And it's really intuitive, simple as clicking, mint, rainbow. There we go. And then just very quickly, just to show you along the bottom here you can change the font. So let's pop a different font in just to show you. And the size, so bring it up or down. And the colour, there. And then again, you can just download in the top corner and share it with whoever you need to share it with. So if I go back to the home page, that is a really, really quick demo of Canva, because obviously it's a really extensive resource that you can use for pretty much all of your designing purposes. You can create your own branding on there. You can do all of your menus, you can do all of your website graphics, you can do all of your social media. Yeah, so it's pretty extensive. I do offer Canva training as part of the workshops that I offer. But anyway, if you get yourself an account, log in and have a play, you'll find that you become, you get to grips with it really, really quickly. So, and it should become something that is invaluable to your business. But let me know if you have any questions about that at the end. Yeah, so that's Canva.
Okay, so I'm moving on to the next one, which is Dropbox, which a lot of you may already use. So I'm not going to go too detailed about this, but Dropbox is an online cloud storage system. And I just find it invaluable for being able to work across multiple devices. So I know that before I was properly using Dropbox in a sensible, professional way, I was constantly emailing myself photos or sending photos from one device to the next, and it's such a time waste. So if you really get yourself into a good system with having a Dropbox and making sure that it's categorized and you're saving and uploading images to it, that means you're going to access them on your laptop, you can access them from your phone, and it's just going to save you so much time faffing around, sending things between devices, sending things on email, trying to resize things. Just make sure that it's all in one place. So it's really smart, it's really secure. You can also use it for all your filing. Obviously it's completely backed up because it's online, and it's really good for organization. So I'm just going to leave that one there and move on, but that's a really handy tool. So a couple here, there's QuickFile, which is obviously not essentially a marketing tool, but because I was speaking to lots of small businesses today, I thought I would include it. This is an accountancy app, and it's absolutely amazing. It's quite like QuickBooks, but it's free. And I use it for all of my filing. And essentially it's kind of all within the app. You can link it to your bank account. You can send and receive all your invoicing from there and track everything. That's really, really helpful. And then moving on to the next app. So Google My Business. Now, obviously, this is absolutely vital for all businesses, and you would be surprised by the amount of people that come to me and they say, I don't know how to sort out my Google listing, it's got the wrong information on it, or I don't know how to put the right photos up, or I can't even access it, that kind of thing, which is madness, because obviously that's your business. Like, you should ultimately have the control over your Google listing. And I think Lisa said that there's a seminar that's going to really delve into that, so that's absolutely brilliant. So I will just give you a very whistle-stop video here of how it works. But essentially, this is how you manage your information, manage your reviews, and make sure that people are finding you. So I'll play the video and then we'll go from there. This is quite a short one.
So once you click onto the app, it will take you through to a dashboard, and that will give you a very top line summary of your views, searches and activity along the top. And you can drill further down into that there and check out reports that you can pull from the data. You can also post directly to your Google profile here, so that will pull in recent things you've created on your phone, so whatever's in your photo gallery. You can create offers, events. You can grab your shareable profile and send it directly via email or WhatsApp or any other messenger app. You can also create offers, go directly through to your reviews and manage them. So we'll do a little bit of that now, just as an example. So if I hit manage reviews, you can see the reviews are listed down here. And then all you'll have to do is click on one and then you can type in your reply. And obviously it's really, really important that we reply to all of our customer reviews, whether they are good or bad. And then right at the bottom there, you've got your section for Google Ads. And then if we carry along to the next tab, that's where you get your reviews. So like I was saying, you'll also have details if you have any followers, and you can edit your welcome message, as well as handle all of your reviews. So next tab along is profile. And this is where you can manage your listing in general. So you can change your cover image, your logo, or your main profile image. This is all in this overview section. This is where you can change your business name, your business services. You can make sure that your address and contact information are up to date and correct, which is obviously very important. You can change your opening hours, your daily opening hours, but you can also add special opening hours for holidays and particular periods of the year. And you can write some information about your business to attract new customers. So that's all in the overview section. In photos, you'll see I've just got a load of photos that pull in from my Instagram, but it's very intuitive. You would just hit on the plus button here, and then you can add photos directly from your phone or whatever device you're using. And then again, here you can create posts for the listing, and you can even create a shop, as you can in other social platforms like Instagram and Facebook, for example. So it's actually it's got quite an extensive amount of functionality. It's almost a social platform within itself, combined with a listing now. So it's really important that you use it and kind of maximize what you get from your listing. And the best way to do that is to kind of keep it up to date and to keep it populated with new content. And just to finish off, just to show you here, this is where you can manage the listing in terms of the account holders. So you could add users if you wanted staff members to be able to manage the page for you. So yeah, back to the home page, and you can access all the functionality from there. So
yeah, so that was GMB, and you'd be surprised by the amount of people who don't have the app, and it really is a bit of a game changer. So get the app, have a bit of a play with it, and make sure that your listing is up to date. Okay, so my next app on this whistle-stop tour is Mailchimp, which is an integrated marketing platform. Some of you may use it already for your e-marketing. I find the app really, really helpful, so I thought I would include it. Essentially, most people use it for database management, so they can get people to sign up and data collect, and also to send out e-marketing campaigns, and then also to track and analyze the results of those, because it's really good for analysis as well. So I'm going to pop the video on.
So for a quick whistle-stop guide to Mailchimp, here's the icon. This will bring you through to a dashboard. I just logged in separately there before I started this video, but normally that would give you two-factor authentication with a text message. So it comes through to a dashboard where it can give you stats about your database, recently completed campaigns, and by campaigns they mean e-marketing emails, how many click-throughs, how many opens, that kind of thing. And then you'd have a section here about ongoing campaigns. On the audience tab down the bottom here, you can look at all of your rates and your e-marketing information. I'm just using an old account here just to show you. Here you can look at all of your campaigns, so everything that you, all the emails that you've sent out and how they performed. You can create reports, so depending on what data you need. And then also if you hit the plus button in the middle here, you can import contacts, you can scan images, you can add contacts manually into your database. You can create a landing page, so essentially a sign-up form, somewhere for people to go and sign up to your database, or you can create a new e-marketing email all from your phone. So you can either upload a template that you've already created, maybe in something like Canva, or you can use their template. So if I clicked on that, for example, you can choose any of the templates that you've previously used. Those are my saved templates. Or here you can look under featured layouts, and for example, this format, showcase your products, share big news, and it will give you the blocks. So it'll give you an image block, a text block, that kind of thing, for effective e-marketing. You just select the one you want to choose, creating your campaign, and then it will talk you through it. It's really intuitive. So, you know, enter a title, choose an audience. That basically means choose the database that you're sending to, subject of the email, preview text, set your logo, who it's going to come from. So you do all of that work, input all the information, the images and the text, and then obviously the most important thing, you send a test email. And I advise sending that to a few different email accounts just to check how it displays and what the format looks like. And then you can schedule it. So as you click through, as it's all completed, it will give you the option to schedule it at a set time. And then obviously you can use the app from that point to track the success of the campaign. Yep, so that's a very quick whistle-stop chat about Mailchimp.
Okay, so next I'm going to move on to a couple of social media support apps which I use. The first one is Hootsuite, which is a social media scheduling app. Essentially, it helps you to plan and schedule your social media posts across platforms. Now, lots of people like to post in the moment, and that works really well too, but there are a lot of people, particularly people who are managing multiple levels of their business and multiple elements, who prefer to set aside time for social media. And the best way to effectively do that is to use a scheduling app, which just means that you can do it all in one go, and you can upload everything, schedule it at set times, and then you know it's going to roll out during the course of the week at pre-designed times. And then It's obviously still important to know when your posts are going out and to be available to deal with the engagement as a result from those posts, but it does help with the workload if that is the way that you want to play it. It's also really great for analysis, because it means that you can, it will help you, give you hints and tips about what the most effective times for posting are, kind of when your particular audience are online, as opposed to just general information about the best times to post and that kind of thing. And also it's really good for social listening. Now, social listening just means kind of tracking the conversation online. So it means that you can kind of follow competitors, follow customers, follow other streams that you're interested, as well as managing your own pages. So I'm just going to play this one here for you.
So if I just click on Hootsuite, so as I was saying, this is a social media scheduling app, and you will come through to this page called Streams. Now, streams are essentially feeds that you are either managing or following. So you'll see here, I've got a range of streams, including my all of my Mint Rainbow accounts and lots of different clients that I work for. And also feeds that I just like to follow. So I could follow a particular hashtag or a competitor's business or anybody that I want to make sure I'm showing support to, that kind of thing. So it's just a great way of keeping all of the content that you follow in one place, and you can do a nice quick kind of at a glance type work when you just want to get a quick summary, or just have a look at things that are trending, or things that are being said across your platforms. So I'll just very quickly show you how the app works in terms of scheduling. So you would hit the compose, and we'll just do a basic, very basic post here. So you can choose where you want that post to go. So I'm just going to choose my Mint Rainbow Consulting Facebook page and my Instagram page. Then you would write your caption. I'm just going to write test, and then you would upload your media, and I'm just going to pop any image in. So that one, for example. And then when you're done, when everything's ready, you've done your, composed your caption and your hashtags, and you've got the media that you want, you hit next. And you get option to publish it immediately by hitting send now, auto schedule it, which will schedule at a time which takes insights into consideration, and essentially will be the optimum time for posting. Or you can custom schedule, which I'm going to do now to show you, and then your calendar will show and you can pop any day or time. So for example, I'm going to put Friday the 15th. Okay, and then set it at 10 in the morning. Okay, and then it will just give you a little summary to say that it's done. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you the publisher, which is essentially your calendar, and it will open on the day that you are on. And all you have to do is scroll across to the day that you've just scheduled, and you will see a summary of the post that you've just created, which is really helpful. So you can kind of pop, it's really helpful when you're scheduling across platforms as well, if you use multiple social media, because you can see all of your posts in one place. And then also you've got another inbox here, and in a similar way to Business Suite, you can just see your images across all of your platforms. So that is just a really whistle-stop demo of Hootsuite, but there are loads and loads of other things you can do on it, and particularly when you log in on a laptop or PC, much more detail about insights and data connected to your social media accounts, which is obviously really helpful in informing your strategy. Yeah.
Okay, and so the next one is similar in a way, because you can create posts across multiple platforms. But what I personally find Business Suite most useful for, it used to be Facebook pages, by the way, so in case you used that previously, is managing my messages, direct messages and comments, because it can pull them all into one list for you. So you can literally set aside time to make sure you get back to all of your comments, all of your messages in one go, which is obviously really important for your engagement. So I'll just quickly show you how to do that now.
So Business Suite, which is what used to be an app called Pages, I believe, Facebook Pages. Anyway, so you can click here in the top corner and see all the accounts that you manage. I'm just going to click on my Mint Rainbow Consulting page as an example. And you'll see here that you'll have your Facebook and your Instagram icons at the top here, because this is a collaborative pulling in of all of your platforms to make it easier to manage. So you will see your recent posts across both platforms, insights, and obviously you can delve deeper into those, and you can create a post by clicking in the middle, which you can decide where you want that to go, whether it's both Instagram and Facebook or just one or the other. Obviously you can do that within the apps as well, but it's just a bit of a one-stop shop. And your messages, I find this really helpful. This is messages of all the platforms that you manage. So if you know that you're behind on messages or direct messages or comments or whatever it might be on your social media, you can just log in and just bash back replies really, really quickly to everybody all in one place, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, which I find really, really helpful. And there's various other functions and things, but I think I'm going to leave it there because those are the main reasons to use Facebook Pages, and it's essentially just a way to pull everything into one place.
Okay, so I'm just moving on to a couple of, so away from social media and to a couple of image libraries. I'm just going to show you a very super quick video for Pexels. So Pexels is completely free. It's an image library, an image bank, which you can use and to download stock photography. Shutterstock is the same. You may already use Shutterstock, but it is paid for. You do get a free trial on Shutterstock. I think you get 10 free downloads. So that can actually be really, really impactful for a business if you just really think about what you need and just get 10 fantastic stock images. But I'll just quickly show you how Pexels works. It's super easy and you can get some absolutely fantastic design photography.
So just click through the icon and you'll come to a home page, which will just include some currently trending images. And if you click on the top search bar, you can enter any search term depending on what you're looking for. So if I just pop rainbow in there, you'll see a range of rainbow images. If you see something you like, you can just click on the image for a little bit more information. How many views it's had, the size, downloads, likes, that kind of thing, who the original photographer was and what type of camera it was taken on. And then you can choose to share it or download it. And if you click the download button, you can also change the size, which is quite helpful. So you can do a custom size down the bottom here. You can download the original, a large version, medium or small, depending on what size of file you need for your project. So if we go back, so that's how you search. You can also just kind of scroll here by looking at some of the trending topics, various collections, have some photography challenges and also spotlight on particular photographers. You can also upload your own content and kind of receive notifications and details about your account along the bottom there. But yeah, so essentially it's just a really great image library of some excellent photography that could work for your brand.
Okay, brilliant. So that's stock photography, and now we're going to go on to your own photography. So here I've got some details of a couple of really great photography editing apps. So I'm going to start with Lightroom. Now Lightroom is the app that all Instagram influencers use, all bloggers. If you're kind of looking at people online thinking, how are they getting their photography to look so nice? Essentially, they are probably using Lightroom. It has I think it's like a 3 or 4 month free trial period. And then similar to Canva in that you can kind of have a free plan or you can pay for a slightly more expensive I've only recently started using Lightroom. I wasn't sure initially about the best ways to kind of edit my photography, because that's not something that I've done previously, but this is really, really helpful. It's got some great guides within the app for you to watch first. And it helps you with exposure, contrast, shadow, color. So you can play with all of those settings to tweak your images, but also for super effective time saving, it has something called a preset, which you may or may not have worked with. This is also something that's very much in the kind of blogosphere at the moment, because bloggers are releasing their own presets for people to buy. And that is essentially a kind of set of controls which are automatically applied to one photo. So if you just look at this photo that I took of my daughter at the weekend, and on one side you've got the original photo, and then the other side I've applied a preset. So it's just a really, and that is literally a one click. So it's really effective in terms of improving your photography, either kind of aligning your photography so that it all looks the same, which is really nice for an aesthetic on a social media grid or for a content campaign. If you think, oh, I'm going to use the same preset for every piece of content that I put out, and it just looks really slick and really professional, and it's super easy. Lightroom comes with a load of base presets that you can use, or you can purchase them and use them however you like. And the other app called Motion Leap is a photo animation app, which sounds really complicated, but it's not at all. So if you look at the example of the one that I've put in the image here, so you've got the woman in the middle, and there are tools within the app where you could freeze the woman. So you just kind of click on her and choose to freeze her. And then you could choose to animate elements of the photo. So for example, that water could be flowing, or clouds could be moving across the sky. And it's so easy to do. Again, there's absolutely brilliant tutorials within the app to watch, and it is within, I don't know, 5 or 6 clicks, you can have a really impactful image with animated elements, which is just really great for socials. So I'll leave those photography ones there and move on to effects. I'll just talk through these quickly. Now, obviously, these are quite specific, these apps, but I've just included them because I think it's helpful to kind of demonstrate that basically there's an app for anything that you might want. These bokeh effects, which is that lovely light blur that you can get. And as you can see along the screenshot in the bottom there, there's so many different options you can choose from. And then there's apps to add snow, and you can see in this image that I've included here, I've just added a load of snow to an image. It sounds really, really simple, but these kind of things are really great for seasonal campaigns. If you've got a summer campaign, if you've got a festive campaign and you just want to chuck a load of snow at it or a load of like sunshine at it, and it's just really helpful, and it just really improves your content. So I'm just going to leave those there, and they're really, really simple to use. They're literally upload a picture, click a button, and see the effect. Okay, and then this is my last lot of apps to go through. So these are my video editing apps that I'm recommending today. And so the first one is InShot, and this is what I probably use the most in terms of creating short videos for my clients and for my own pages. It's really, really simple to use. You can just upload elements from your phone, so short videos, and then it's got a very simple timeline function where you can trim the edges and create a video montage, set it to music, add text, add captions, that kind of thing. And it also has some really great functions, like you can kind of remove sound from certain bits really simply, add sound. So if you want to kind of, you've got a great piece of photography, but it's got something in the background that you don't like, or that kind of thing, that's really, really effective. So that's what I would use InShot for. For Pick, Play, Post, I know I'm whizzing through, but for Pick, Play, Post, that's probably best for your photo montages. So before and afters, which is fantastic for a lot of industry sectors, that kind of thing. It's just great for a montage or a collage, essentially. Vimeo is obviously a creators platform within itself, so you can kind of view content. It is a content hub as well, but also it's good for creation and tends to be for longer form video. So if you kind of want to make something slightly longer, if you want some inspiration, then head to Vimeo. And then I've included IGTV. Obviously, you don't really create video other than straight camera within this app, but some people kind of get a little bit confused by IGTV. So essentially, anything that's longer than a minute on Instagram originates from IGTV. So you have the two separate apps, but they're very much connected. So for example, every time I film a tutorial, I tend to film it on my phone actually, and then I upload it to IGTV and it pulls through to my Instagram platforms. It's really simple. It doesn't have kind of editing functionality within itself, but most people use it for talking to camera, for kind of tutorials, or just to upload videos that they've made in other apps or on other devices. And that's your way to get longer content video onto your Instagram platforms. Because if you're directly uploading from Instagram, then obviously you have a time limit. Okay. So just very quickly, these aren't apps, but these are just a few really quick hacks that working in marketing I have found so helpful over the years. Now, these are websites and just a few generic hacks. So the first thing is Color Picker. Now, there's quite a few of these online, and I think that people kind of don't realize that they're there. So essentially, there's a website called Color Picker, and there's a few kind of little tools within Google that you can use as well, where you can upload a photo, you can click on any element of that photo, and it will generate a hex code for you. And now a hex code is a color code, essentially, and you'll be able to put that color code into a design app like Canva, so you can like perfectly color match in terms of your brand colors or something that you've seen and you really want to design with. And I know a lot of people come to me and say, I've been trying to match this color that I love for so long, but literally you can do it with a click. So have a look, put Color Picker into Google. Optimizella is a fantastic resource, particularly when you're designing your websites. Essentially, it is a file optimization website. You can reduce the size of your files, which obviously improves the functionality of your website, but retain the quality. And you can do it in batches as well. So you could upload 10 images and then you can download those 10 images with the same quality, but much, much smaller. So that's really, really useful for so much content creation, but particularly websites. Png Creators, PNG file, just for those that don't know, is a file with a transparent background, which is obviously really good for product photos and also for logos. Loads of PNG creators online. You can also do it in Canva, but just don't get stressed if you're thinking, how am I going to remove the background from this? How am I going to get my logo looking slick overlaid on a different document? Just pop it into a PNG creator, download it, and then you'll get it with that background. Bitly, which is just a website to shorten and neaten your URL links. So obviously we've all done it, kind of copied and pasted a URL, and it's really long and it's quite unsightly in your content. Just go to the website, pop it in, and pull out a nice, short, neat URL to use. Good for bios as well. So like your Instagram bio or your Facebook bio, that kind of thing, where you don't want a really long URL taking up all of your word count. And then stock images we've kind of already gone through, but just to say there's incredible photography out there and it's there for the taking. So, you know, you don't have to create every piece of photography for your brand. You know, people use stock photography and people use templates. Everybody uses templates. If you want to create from scratch, that's absolutely amazing. And you might find kind of as you get more confidence, you'll start designing from scratch. But every single person who is creating effective marketing is using templates, and it's definitely the way to kind of streamline your brand and streamline what you're putting out there and kind of have a more professional finish to what you're doing. And now, if everyone's still with me, one last page. I've got a few social media hacks, and I'm just going to whiz through them. So number one, don't post without purpose. This is really important. everybody says to me all the time, oh, I just don't know what to say. Oh, I'm trying to think of something every day. I know I should post really regularly. You should post regularly and it will help with engagement. But there is no point in putting a post out without a purpose behind it. It's just not going to gain any traction. So think about your strategy beforehand. Think about the reason for the post. You know, are you trying to add value, which is my next point, or are you trying to give information? Are you trying to generate leads? Just really think about the purpose of that post before it goes out, and then kind of work around that accordingly. So adding value, again, this is kind of a word, like a phrase that's bandied around all the time at the moment. Essentially, it means give your customers and your clients and your users something more than a hard sell, something that they can kind of take from it, whether that is information, expertise, like something that they can take away. So it might be like a tutorial, or it might be getting to know the person behind the brand. It might be kind of some recommendations or some lists, or whatever it is. It's added value. It's something that they can take away, that it's not just a hard sell. And that leads on to the next point, which is creating savable content. There's two reasons for doing this. One is that it really helps with Facebook and Instagram algorithms if people are saving your content, because Instagram knows that you're a user who people want to come back to. It also creates customer loyalty. So they're saving your content and they're viewing it over and over again. And something savable might be, you know, oh, I've put together a top 10, or I've put together a little video tutorial on how to do XX, and people will save that and come back to it. Okay, next point, vary your formats. Don't just use photo on your social media platforms, or your websites or anything like that. Vary your formats. Use reels, use photos, use video format, use images, use testimonials, quote cards, everything you can. Instagram will always reward users who are using all of its tools and all of its functionality. So it's really, really important. And then the last 2 points kind of go together. Number one is don't follow account. It just doesn't matter. It's not important how many followers you have. It's important how engaged those followers are. So, and that leads back to creating your community. So if you spend 5 minutes having a conversation in your direct messages with one customer, that's so much more valuable than trying to, I don't know, join a follower loop to get yourself some more followers who ultimately aren't going to be invested in your brand. So think about the community you're creating. Think about your users, customers as individuals, and they will think of you as the same. And people are so much more likely to buy from a person than they are a faceless brand. So if you get stuck, this is me. I've got a few different packages, but everything's completely bespoke. So if you need support with certain things, you can get in touch. But I do a whole shebang marketing package, a brand package, which includes brand photography and logo design and that kind of thing. And also a power hour, which has been really popular this year, which is kind of a 1 hour intensive strategy session, which could normally be in person, but obviously not at the moment. So lots of Zooming. So yeah, that's me. Those are my contact details. And obviously I'm sure they'll be shared with you at the end, and we can ping this presentation round. But I think we're going to go to questions. Is that right?
Katy, that was amazing. You've blown my mind.
I'm sorry, it's so quick.
No, it was great. And you know, there are a few things that I'm going to do straight away, and then some things I'm like, wow, I need more time to digest that. But a great reference, a great presentation that we can reference. So thank you for that. I'm certainly lots of time-saving techniques here. And just thinking back to the first one, to Canva, every time Rachel goes on holiday, I just mess it up. And, you know, it's that thing of, I feel like because I've been using social media for so long, I should know how to do it. But if I take anything away from this presentation, if we just play around a bit, invest a bit of time, find what works for us, then when Rachel's on holiday, what should take me 2 minutes instead of 20 minutes might actually just take 2 minutes. So Thank you. We are running over time, and I know some of you are, Zoom hopping or going from one virtual meeting for another. So if you have to go, that's okay. I'm just going to pick up on 2 of the questions. Rachel, yeah.
Could I just say two very quick things? I mean, first of all, thank you, Katie. That was amazing. Canva to me has been possibly one of the best investments we've ever made at the bid, because for £8 a month, it's the photographs you can get, it's the, as you say, you can transfer to PNG files, and but what you've just shown me this morning is that actually I could organize my Canva account and put things in files. I hadn't even thought about that, so thank you. But I just wanted to say to everyone, there was some research done last year about retailers online and how the majority of posting happens during the week. But in fact, your customers will be online at the weekend, and that's when the least amount is coming out. And Hootsuite and all those things where you can schedule your posts, getting things at the weekend's really, really important, because that's when people will have the time to interact with you more, even though you might not want to post because it's the weekend. So hence, Hootsuite, post it on a Monday for Saturday. That's so important, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's really important.
So I'm just going to pick up on a few questions here. From Jane Christie, would you recommend Hootsuite or Business Suite to schedule posts?
I prefer Hootsuite, definitely, for the actual scheduling, because I really like their calendar style planner that you can use. So you can literally kind of pull your posts around times and days and that kind of thing. Whereas Business Suite, for me, I mean, people do use it to schedule, but for me personally, I find the messages really effective within. That's why I use them both, because I just messages are really effective in Business Suite, because you can get back to comment message, and they kind of all appear in one list, and you can just go through them really quickly.
Fantastic, Katie, thank you. And from Jason Hanford, if you wanted to create a website from scratch, who would you recommend?
Okay, so at the moment I'm doing 3 websites and on 3 different platforms, because people have kind of half started them. So I've got quite a good intel at the moment. So I've got one on Squarespace, one on Wix, and one on WordPress. And I find Squarespace by far the most user-friendly, intuitive, the really nice, clean lines, simple blocks, templates. So at the moment, my recommendation is definitely Squarespace.
Thank you. Fantastic. Okay, from Jodie Mills, why don't you let Hootsuite choose the best time to post if it uses insights to pick the best time? Or do you like to post at certain times to suit you in order to engage with your audience?
Yeah, I think it is just a balance. So you could auto schedule everything, which would also work, as long as you know when those times are, and you are kind of available to deal with any engagement. There's the phrase kind of like don't post and ghost, which means like don't post and then just not be available to respond to any comments or messages that come from it. So the reason that a lot of people would choose their timings, one is they might be aligning with a campaign or a particular product release, or they want a post to go out at an exact time, or they might just be making sure that they personally are available. You could kind of have a look at your insights and then tailor it slightly to you. I think it's a combination of the both, basically.
Thank you. That's actually really helpful. No, very helpful.
That's a good question.
Yeah, no, good questions coming in. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
So Jackie's asking, using e-marketing, not sure about data protection issues.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're using an app like Mailchimp, then obviously they have all of that kind of like inbuilt data protection information that you need to include on your websites. There are also a range of websites. I don't think I kind of can reel them off on the top of my head, but I can certainly send them round, where you can reference what you need to be including on any emails and what you need to be including on any sign-up forms. But within Mailchimp, you will be auto-prompted with all of the GDPR stuff in terms of making sure that you're compliant. So if you're making sure that you are using an app like that, which is actually another reason to use those types of platforms rather than just kind of collate emails off your own steam and send emails, because you just Mailchimp will kind of make sure that you are compliant. If that makes sense.
Thank you. So I'm really sorry, we're running over, and unfortunately Rachel and I now have to go on to another session. But what I would say, if there's any questions you have, or any other sessions that you would like us to run, have a look at what Katy can offer. There might be some workshops we could bring Katy back for. So if there's anything that you just are interested in, let us know. But I would recommend Katy's sessions, because what that will do, I mean, whilst we can do these general workshops for everyone, if you need to just focus on your business and what works for you, then those sessions would be well worth the time and the money. So thank you everyone for joining. Katy, there's lots of chat about how useful the session is and people downloading certain apps.
I can't see any chat. Okay.
So yeah, lots of comments about people actually doing downloading and trying things straight away, which is brilliant.
Okay.
So thanks everyone for your time. It's we do look forward to being able to see you in person or actually on the screen, but when we're in this webinar format, we can only see your names. We will follow up and send you an email with the recording and the presentation. And again, please let us know if there's any particular sessions, having listened to all of this today, that you think we could run as separate workshops, anything in particular. So the last thing I should say is that we are running these sessions with the Reopening the High Street Safely Fund, which is being run by Canterbury City Council. So that's a project that's running across the Canterbury district, which just means that we get to know more of you and more businesses across the Canterbury district. So we are working through Canterbury City Council with teams in Whitstable, Tenkerton and Herne Bay, and of course Canterbury. So wishing you all the very best and hope to see you on one of these sessions very soon. Take care.
Bye. Thanks a lot.